inspired by my favorite Chinese takeout, today we're gonna prepare a Kung Pao chickpea. You're gonna need one big onion. Mine weighed about 490 grams. And what you're gonna do is clean it, and then you're gonna cut it into squares that are about the same size as a chickpea. The next ingredient that we're gonna chop is peppers. So you're gonna need 2 of them. Mine weighed together 355 grams. You need to cut them in about the same size as a chickpea. We're gonna use some ginger and we're gonna use some garlic. We're gonna start with the ginger. You wanna do about 2 tablespoons of that, which weigh about 30 grams. Now let's go with the garlic. The garlic, I did 3 cloves of garlic that weighed 10 grams. Now, let's start cooking. So the first thing that you're gonna do is turn on the Instant Pot. We're gonna use the saute function. I'm gonna program it for 20 minutes at high temperature. Once it's preheating, I'm gonna add some cooking oil. Once it's preheated, add the onion. And make sure for this recipe to keep mixing. After about a minute, you're gonna add those red peppers. After about a minute, we're gonna add the next ingredient, which is the ginger. You're gonna add the garlic. Now it's time to add all of our liquids, starting with the sesame oil. We're gonna add a teaspoon of that. And the next ingredient that you're gonna add is the soy sauce. For the soy sauce, I recommend you add 3 tablespoons, about 45 grams of soy sauce. Now let's go with the balsamic vinegar. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of that, or 30 grams. And to have that kind of sweet and sour mixture, we need to add something sweet. So we're gonna use maple syrup. I use a tablespoon of that. And finally, to have that spicy kick, we're gonna add those pepper flakes. I added a teaspoon of them. So you wanna see everything look homogeneous before you add our star ingredient, the one and only chickpea. About a minute later, you're gonna turn off that Instant Pot. It's ready to serve. What I recommend is using some rice as a base. You're gonna do about 3 spoons of the actual Kung Pao mix. And then you're gonna do your garnish. So you wanna start with those chives using scissors. I recommend cutting the back of those chives very thinly. At the end, you're gonna add the sesame seeds. Now let's try this.